Paul, a lot of people have been wondering what provoked Wes Foderingham at the end of the game, which led to the red card. Have you been able to find out what the issue was there?
Yeah, there's no issue. I think every player who was there were doing the same, trying to pull other players away, and then you get 2 players to 4 players to 6 players to 8 players, and then and you can see the inside. I think Rian's right in the middle, and Wes is doing his gloves trying to get Rian out, and then got grabbed from behind in the front, and they've just gone over. So there was no punches, there were no contact to the face. They're just grappling of each other, and they've gone over. So it's just the same as the other guys, really, all over the place. But they went to ground, but nothing happened after that.
You mentioned after the game that you'd have a think about whether to appeal the red card. Have you decided to appeal or not?
Yeah, both clubs have appealed. I think on the basis of that, about the just the classification of violent conduct and things, and I'm not privy to exactly what Blackpool have put, but from our point of view, obviously it doesn't happen if you didn't get grabbed from behind and the front, and then you can clearly see both players Wes has got hold of Lavery's hands, Lavery's got hold of Wes's shirt. There's no punches or contact with the face or anything like that. And I just purely think there's no provocation, there was no one thing I don't think that led to either of them. I think Lavery's doing the same, trying to pull Wes out the way. And like as I said, as I saw it at the time, and then looking back at it, it's just a case of more bodies coming involved and trying to do the same thing, and it looks worse than what it is.
Have you spoken to the players at all that if a similar situation, and look, there's probably not going to be another game quite like that this season, but if a situation like that emerges again, you've got to find a way to try and keep your cool if you can and avoid those bookings and red cards?
Yeah, they were cool in there. You've got to go and get your mate out of there, do you know what I mean? But we have spoke about needless bookings and things like that. So you're looking at the left back Blackpool when he's just been booked and then he kicks the ball at Nell after that physical contact over the side. If I'm happy, I'm pulling my hair out of that, and we spoke about that, after Ollie last couple of weeks ago. When you're on a booking, it's totally different. If it's a booking that helps the team and helps you win a game, or it's a tackle and it's part and parcel of how we want to play, then that's different. But your job as a player, and it's do as I say, not as I do type thing. That's what I said from me and the players, that myself, the staff, we can't influence the 90 minutes on the grass. We can influence it away from the grass. That's our job. The players is just influencing that game on the grass and doing whatever they can do to win there. After that, forget about it. It's not always easy, but that's what we want.
And just to clarify on the appeals process, what is the time scale on that? When do you actually find out?
Just wait to be back, but it shouldn't be long.
Yeah, okay. In terms of the goals conceded, it's 8 goals in 4 games in this month, and last month it was no goals conceded. What have been the issues there as you kind of look into this, and how do you maybe get back to some of that form that you had before the international break?
Yeah, it's clear. Like this is not rocket science. It's not. So we've gone through that. Obviously, the demands on the players are pretty high, and we spoke a lot about leaving runners, tracking the runs, winning the tackle. Blackpool, and this me not criticising, they were very good at keeping the ball going that way towards our goal. We've got to stop that. So stronger in the duels and then track the runs. And that's it. That was it. That was a message in that game, but very similar in the others. Marking at set plays, but we've just shown them all the stats of us as a team and what we are and what we want to be. And this is the thing, I'm not massive on stats, and this is the reason why, and I'll tell you. So we first for goals scored, we first for expected goals scored, we first for big chances. Keep going, there's loads more. In terms of without the ball, we first for passes per defensive action. We're a front-footed team, we want to press. We first for shots off high regains, we first for goals off high regains. As expected goals against in set plays is only 2 point something. So you look at all that, and that paints a picture of the team we want to be. A front-footed team, creating chances, trying to be positive, being really aggressive to win the ball back, and then trying to score goals from that. Brilliant. Why aren't we top of the league? Why aren't we this? Why aren't we that? So stats don't measure the decisions. they don't measure that time when you've not quite tracked that run, when you've not made that tackle, when you've not done this, when you're at these big moments. And that's it. That's it. And that's what sets it apart in my eyes. That's why I don't get too bogged down by the numbers, because I've just shown you what. So it paints a picture the team want to be, so that's very pleasing. But we've conceded those goals because we left Troy Deeney on his own with two more goals at set plays, first phase, second phase, tracking the runs, runs off the back of our midfield. Yeah, there's been little moments of fortune, if you like, which has dropped into a striker's path. But you've got to deny those moments, you know. Our aim is to give nothing away. No, we know that's virtually impossible, but his aim is to give nothing away, not hope that one time you don't do it, it don't fall to anyone. So that's it. That's it. So we've been punished for those errors, and it's a reminder of that's the difference.
So as a manager, what do you say to the players then? Because if it's not really a great issue, it's just, you know, a few individual errors that have maybe cost you. How do you sort of try and address it so that stops now, and then the
emphasis is on it. So we know what our post match wants to look like after Coventry. It wants to look. I want to be showing our players with the recovery runs, with the tackles, with the blocks, as well as the good stuff in and around Coventry's box. Of course I do. And then as we're getting players back, change the team, and we pick the team according to these people performing that way, and that's it.
I wanted to ask you about Rida Kadra, a player who has shown what he's capable of in this division. Perhaps hasn't quite found his best form since he came here. How do you think he gets to that level again? Yeah,
we just want Rida to be more positive. I don't want him to be like anyone. I spoke to him this morning. I don't want him to be like anyone else here. We brought him in for the different things he does, and we have to accept some things where we need to keep improving him and pushing him for the things that he can do different to everyone else. Yeah, and that's it. So that is the message. You don't want him to come here and be safe. So if you think to the game on Saturday, when we put him on to get in those 1v1 situations and have a go, he'll be more positive.
And Coventry, it's obviously a difficult game there last season, but they've had some issues of their own. They've had games postponed. There's even a bit of a doubt about this one. What kind of a test are they going to be for you, do you think?
Yeah, I think you look at the recent, I think that the league position's false. No doubt that the games called off at the beginning of the season affected them. So for example, you have a good pre-season, you work hard, you get into the flow of the games, 2 or 3 games in, you're finding your feet, you're pushing on. They've suffered, you know. There's no doubt that, and then all of a sudden now you're looking at the results recently, only conceded 1 goal. Yeah, they've not scored many, but only lost 1, you know, so they've really got back to what they were in my eyes last season, a tough team to play against. So we're expecting the same.